Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abraham and I run Masters Idea. Um, we continue on our Python series as we talk about the basic Python, basic variables and data types in Python. I will just open to my VS Code that I already opened. I can decide to open a folder from here by clicking on Open Folder and then locating the folder on my document, the lecture notes. Let me use code, and then I can create a folder here. And create a folder here, and we call it lecture 1, and press enter, then click on select folder. This automatically opens the folder for me in VS Code. There are many other ways. What I just did is, let me close it again and do it for the second time. And go back to my VS Code. I'm opening VS Code. Lecture has opened again. So let me open a new window. I open a new window. I see open folder. So I click on open folder. When I click on open folder, I'll see documents or wherever you store your codes. So I will see, I like putting them in my lecture notes. Type code. I'll create a folder, maybe call it, create a folder, new folder, and call it, let me delete this one, and call it lecture 1, and then press enter. Then click on select folder and open it. Done. This is one way to open a folder in VS Code. Now let me play. Another way to open a folder in VS Code is to go to where that folder is created. My folder was created in my document, not here, in lectures, lecture notes, in codes, and this is my folder, and I want to open it in VS Code from here. All I need to do is go to the top here and type cmd. There are many ways to open a folder. I'll just show only 2 ways. So I'll type cmd for those that are new. Those use command prompt, and I'll press enter. So if it opens in command prompt, the next thing I'm supposed to do is type. Okay, I didn't open it properly. I can actually CD into it, but I'll close it because I want to open not codes but lecture 1. So I'll open lecture 1 first. It's still empty, not minding. I open lecture 1 and click on it and type cmd. When I type cmd, I press enter. Now if you look at the code, it has added lecture 1 to it instead of just codes. So at this point, this is the folder I want to open, and that is the address of the folder. So I'll type code space dot and press enter. When I do that, it opens VS Code for me, which is the same thing that we have achieved before. Now, if you have opened your VS Code like this, you can successfully create files. You can see this part. This is explore, search, source control, run and debug, extensions that we use during the installation, accounts. If you have attached your GitHub and other accounts to it, this is settings or manage where you change some things. For instance, something as simple as the theme color, you can change it here. Yes, let me do it again. Go to theme color, you can change it here. You go to the theme color, you can change it here. Okay, so you have something of this nature. I think most of my students prefer a white background. So I'm going to change it to the light. I think this is okay. So, so that it will be a bit different from some of the ones you see online that are always on black background. Good. Now, if you have done this, I told you when you come here, it will always show you. It is preferable to create from here. Don't use this one once you have created your folder. So it's preferable to create from here. This is new file, new folder, a fresh explorer, collapse folder in explorer. So what we need is create a new file. Once we click on create a new file, the next thing you're going to do is create a file, maybe intro, or you say, yes, let's do intro underscore to underscore Python dot py. If you immediately you add dot py, the symbol is a good VS Code. The symbol changes and it changes to Python symbol. So dot is asking for a valid file extension dot py. So once you say that, it becomes a Python file, and you press. So when you press enter, VS Code opens a fresh Python file for you. So the first thing I'm going to talk about here is what we call comment. Comment in Python, or in generally in all programming languages, is what you use to make comments. It's funny, right? But the compiler doesn't, or the interpreter doesn't do anything on it. It's just for you as a programmer to have an understanding. This is what I want to do here, and also to be able to explain your code to other people that may want to look at it, or that it is necessary that they look at it and understand what they're doing. And also it is good when you have written a long line of code, you come and you put a comment so that when you come back, you will be able to know that this is what I wanted to do here, or this is what I was trying to do here. So comments are very good in Python. In the video Python for programming that is on my channel, you see there. I talked a lot about it. Two of these videos we have introduced the Python, we have introduced programming languages, we have talked about a lot of things in this video. If you have not watched it, please go back and watch them. Now back to what we were doing. This and Python, like every other programming language, have two ways to make a comment. This is a single line comment. This is a single line. What does it mean by single line comment? It means you can only comment on it one line. I am going to introduce Python to beginner. So these are single line. We learn variables and data types. So I've made some single line comment. Now, Python also have what we call multi-line comment. Multi-line comment can be done in two ways, by using quotation marks, and it takes 3 quotation marks on the left side and 3 on the left side and 3 on the right side. It could be single quotation and or double quotation. Now I'm just going to copy what I've written here and add this here. This is a multi-line just we are trying to say multiple lines. It can span through multiple lines. So we can also do this with double quotation marks, and it will still serve the same purpose. So these are comments these are ways to write comments in Python. Now, going forward, let's look at variable. Like we all know, variable, or like you should have known by now if you have watched those 2 videos I introduced earlier, variable is a memory space that you use to hold a value during runtime. And then it is in Python, variables or Python variables are not strongly typed. They are not statically typed, they are dynamically typed. We have explained the difference between being dynamically typed and statically typed in those 2 videos. So please, I beg of you, if you have not watched them, go back and watch them. Now, we can do this, like for instance, I can say A is a variable, A is equals to 5 or 3. A is equals to 3. Now, if I say A is equals to 3, if I say A is equals to 3, and then say B is equals to 5, now I can actually, so I've said A is equals to 3, B is equals to 5. I can actually say, okay, print A plus B. Give me the value of A plus B. So let's see what this will give us. But how do you not test it? How do you test it? How do you test it? You go to the top and click, you see terminal. You click on new terminal. Now, if you are on Mac, you don't need to do any other thing. You just go ahead and test. But if you are on Windows, please, I beg you, always come to this small arrow here, drop down arrow, click on it, and change your terminal engine to command prompt, not PowerShell. Now, if you do that, you can come and write Python, then name of the file, intro underscore to underscore Python dot py. Please don't forget to add the dot py, and you press enter. So when you press enter, intro okay, I made a mistake. You can see sometimes learning mistakes are good. I didn't try the name very well, so I'll just use my top arrow to go back to the name, and then scroll. In one of my classes, one of my students had this kind of issue. So if you are done and you're sure it's correct now, not press enter. So it's giving us a value of 8. So it's trying to say 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. I can also decide to say, no, I don't just want to go like that. I want to give it another variable. Say sum is equal to A plus B. If I say sum is equal to A plus B, then I'll come here and say print sum. If I say print sum, I'll test it again and still gives me 8. So what we are saying by this, if you are doing some programming languages, it will either be here or at the front. You will say int A, int B. But this is wrong in Python. Python is not statically typed, it's dynamically typed. In that the value that you give to the variable determines the type of that variable. So we are taking variable and data types together. So basically what we have done are called integers. These are integers. We have explained the size of an integer in our previous video. Please watch that video. Now, an integer, but basically at the surface level, integers are whole numbers. Integers are whole numbers. We also have floats. So let me just add a comment. This is integer. Okay, let me make the 5 a float. Floats are decimal number. Floats are decimal number. So this is a float. For programming languages, it is called double. Like in PHP, it is called double. But for Python, it is called a float. So now, it is not every time you'll be able to do this, but for float and integer, they are numbers, so they can actually go together. So what is the major difference between a float and an integer? Decimal point. Integer doesn't have, float has. And if I still run it, this time around, it is going to be 8.0 because it takes, whenever the float and the integer are meeting, the float becomes the one in charge. So you see 8.0, and that is it. Now, there are other types of variables, which is, for instance, the string. The string. You can also create another type of variable, string. String can come in two forms. I can say I can say greeting is equal to how are you doing. Then I come down and say response. I can say equal to I am doing good. I'm doing good. Now, if you check, I have written them, the first one with single quote, the second one with double quote. You can represent integer in this in string, sorry, in these two forms. You can represent string in these two forms. No, it's okay like that. So we have looked at the third data type in Python, also mixing it together with variable declaration. So I've talked about integer, we've talked about float, now we've talked about string. Another data type in Python is Boolean. Boolean. Boolean comes with only has two values in the whole world. Only has two values. While integer, float, a string can change, Boolean only has two values. It can be false F must start with capital letter, or it can be so that is Boolean for you. Remember, when you want to test, when you want to print out something, you only type Python, the name of this file, which is here, and then you press enter to give you the value that you're looking for. Another type of data that we have is the list. Python. The rest of data type I want to talk about are more of array related. Python doesn't have array, but you can see this data type in Python. For now, I will just be mentioning data type in order. So first, if you want to create a list, use square bracket. The list is created with square bracket. Another data type is a set. Okay, tuple. The tuple is created with parentheses. Then we have a set. A set is created with square curly braces. Then we have the dictionary is created with curly braces. Now, one might say, why is set and dictionary the same thing? We'll explain when we are in another video, so that this one will not be too long. We don't like making long videos. I don't like making long videos. I like making short videos so that you can listen to them, and from time to time it shows it gives you that feeling of making progress, instead of watching a long video of 10 hours and then sleeping in the way and losing track of it. So we have arranged it in such a way that the videos will be short, so that you can be getting it one after the other. Now that we have talked about a list, a tuple, set, and a dictionary. Now, how do you create a list? You can come and say, my list. A list can contain anything. Say, my list is equal to mango, comma. I can also do this. Say my list is equals to shoe, comma. I can also say there is 7.0 in my list. I can also say there is 9 in my list. I can also say there is 2 in my list. So you can see a list can contain many. It can be a list of all strings. It can be a list of all integers. It can be a list of all floats. It can be a list of Boolean, or whatever you want to put in that list. The same thing is applicable to tuple, but it's just that the way tuple is structured is more for, because a list is immutable. Sorry, a list mutable. A list is mutable, but a tuple is immutable. Tuple is immutable in that it cannot change during runtime. For instance, that's why most times if you see examples online, even on Python, what you see they use tuple for are things that shouldn't change when the program is running. Things like coordinates, you want to get a map and all that. So you can say my coordinates equal to minus 12.2 comma plus or just this value from. Can I store other things in a tuple? Yes, I can do that. But tuple is immutable, it does not change. So if you want to do something that has to do with something value that you don't want to change during runtime, tuple is the best data type to use. But you can also use others and also manipulate it. Another brief introduction is on set. Set deals with, sorry, I'm going to use this own name. This is a set of unique values. Unique values, which means a set will only take unique values. For instance, if I copy these things that are here, make them a set, my set, just to change here to, this is the wrong way of programming. Don't be copying code because you may make mistakes. I'm just trying to watch because I want to shorten the video. Now, this is a set that has been created. Even during creation, I can decide to add something else and say it won't say anything. But if I test this my set and say, okay, print my set and run this code again, remember our 8.0 will show, you see it has two 7.089 mango and cashew. So it has just removed one cashew. We don't know whether it was this one or it was this one that removed. But what we know is that it has removed one cashew because it said deals with unique values, only unique values. If it is not unique, then it is not supposed to be in a set. It will just filter out one. So when you want to deal with something that has to do with only unique values, you don't want a repetition set is the data set to go for, if that is just what you are looking for. So, but in dictionary, we are looking at key and value pair. They value, the comma, the two value two. So, and other, it can what in other programming languages, what you can liken to a dictionary may be a JSON file, and a little bit related to CSV file, command separated value. But no, but in JavaScript, it's related to objects. You can see it's looking like an object in JavaScript, but in Python it's called a dictionary. So this there are other data types like stack that can be implemented in Python. Stack, but those are advanced. Linked list or data structures, linked list, queue. All these can be implemented in Python. But because this video is at the preliminary level, we don't want to talk about that. So just know that there are data types. Data types, again, is the way data is presented in this particular programming language. So let's take the basic ones we have talked about. integer, float, string, boolean, list, tuple, set, and dictionary. Now, one more thing. A list is ordered, which means that it has an index of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It has an index of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The same thing is applicable to a tuple. Tuple is ordered, meaning that it has an index starts from 0, continuing 1, and so on and so forth. But a set is not ordered, meaning that, okay, you can see the way it was created: mango, cashew, 7.089, true cashew. But when it was bringing it out, it just picked true 7.089. And if we run this code again, there's every chance that it will not start with true, or the arrangement will not be the way it is again. So let's try and run again. Now you see there's a big difference between the first output and the second one. It contains the same number of items. It's starting with the same true. For mango has replaced 7.0, and then 89 is now 7.0 and 89 are now last. Mango and cashew has come to the middle. If you run it again, it will give you another answer. You see it's now starting with mango. So that is what set is. Set is not ordered, or you say unordered. So knowing these things helps you a lot in dealing with them. While we are talking about key value head. So in essence, we are saying in a dictionary that we have keys, we have values, we have the combination of key and values is called item. So remember these things, we're going to use them in our next video. So we'll continue in our next video. If you have any questions, please drop it and I will respond to it. If there are any other data types in Python that you want me to talk about, please drop a video and drop a comment and I will respond to it. There are many other things we can do on this, but we are going to do them in our next video. Thank you and see you in our next video.